Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to 48 Weather Extra. I actually have a little bit extra for you tonight. My fishing trip down to Mexico Beach, Florida. We're going to talk about that, but first we're going to get to the weather. For those that just want the weather, I hear you. So we're going to do that too. A few showers out there. It is warm outside. It's very muggy, very almost tropical out there. And let's take a look at your forecast. We'll begin with the radar. There's a lot of ground clutter, and that's usually a number one indicator when you get all that false return around the radar that it's very humid out there, plus probably an inversion too. But that little boundary just keeps on chugging through the area. Nothing severe at all to worry about with this, but there is some locally heavy rain, and we need it because we're not going to get, after tomorrow, we're probably going to go another 4 or 5 days without rain. However, there may be some tropical development that makes its way into the Carolinas early next week, and that may back up. High pressure off the Atlantic may push that and all that moisture here into North Alabama later next week. So that's what we're going to watch, but we really haven't been talking tropics lately, but they are heating up. But specifically, we've been watching our weather lately because it's been fairly active. So as we go past this and kind of talk about the shoals, some light rain there. There's some patchy fog out there too, so just be aware of that tomorrow morning for that morning commute. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. Most of the rain will be gone. Yeah, we had a great time, Adam, on that trip. You'll see just how much fun we had coming up with meteorologist David Paul down in Dothan. He actually put the video together. But that's coming up after this forecast here. But as we go through the morning hours, some patchy fog, a few showers still possible, even though the model guidance doesn't show it. Now what's happening is the front's coming in, but it's going to stall out a bit. A little wave's going to develop along this front, and that's what we've been kind of watching for your Friday afternoon. Notice everything clustering in eastern and northeast Alabama and up there into Lincoln County and Moore County, Tennessee, as this low on this wave kind of pivots and rotates through. Some locally heavy rain. Look how that clusters there. This showed up yesterday too in Jackson and DeKalb counties. And you could see some very heavy downpours there, some street flooding, maybe an inch or more of rain over a 2-hour period. And then as we go past 3 o'clock, the wave kind of passes us by and lifts out of the area. Should be gone just in time for high school football or your dinner plans. The exception may be Chattanooga. They may be dealing with some showers and storms all the way past 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. So pretty much looking at your wind forecast tomorrow, it's going to be north-northeast. May see a gust about 15, 12 miles an hour, but not too impressive as far as the wind goes. And the 3-day forecast, 80. I've increased that chance over the last 24 hours to 40%. But if you live west of I-65, it's probably more of a 10% chance for you. 82 degrees for your Saturday, 85 on Sunday. So overall, things quieting down and kind of getting back to normal, so to speak. So let's take a look at what's going on. Again, took my big trip down, and David Paul, he's a chief meteorologist at our sister station down in Dothan, Alabama, and we kind of started going. We met each other a long time ago at the Bahamas Hurricane Conference, but we really became good friends at this National Tropical Weather Conference. We decided we wanted to go fishing, so we'd usually go a day early or stay a day late, and we'd take a fishing charter. In fact, it used to be part of there's a bug flying around on the camera. It used to be part of the conference. They'd have an excursion, and we would do that. Yeah, it is a good night to go fishing Lake Guntersville. Yeah, I've done more saltwater and brackwater fishing than I have freshwater fishing, and I think it's because, usually I'll get a guide, we're going to boat, and Ted Buchanan, big help there. He had the boat down there. So again, I'm going to show you what we did there. So I got playlist. Nope. I don't even have my glasses on. There it is, playlist. There we go.
Hey everyone, welcome into a Weather Extra. I am with another meteorologist of mine, Mr. Brad Travis.
Hey, how's it going? Good Friday?
Yeah, up in Huntsville. You're down in Mexico Beach with me, doing some fishing today. So the goal is to catch, hopefully, some snapper. Snapper season open on weekends here in the fall. What do you think our chances are? Give me a prediction.
I think they're pretty good. I'm going to go 100%.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm going to go 75% with limit out.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's a forecast I can get behind.
Yep.
We'll have more on this. Stay tuned. Brad officially with the monster on the line. How does it feel? Look at that thing. That is unreal. Don't lose it. Don't lose it.
Come on, weatherman.
There's a big fish right there. Ah! All right, got one. Not a keeper. Amberjack. We're looking for a snapper ideally right now, so this guy goes back. The boat owner with the fish. Ted, what do you have?
I think it's a red. It's a red.
Oh, the fish. Ross with the fish. What do we got?
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a little different. That's not...
Between us, Brad with the first keeper.
Yeah.
How'd it feel?
Felt good. I wish I'd have caught the one before this.
Yeah, the one you missed was even
Yeah.
bigger. Oh, there we go. First red snapper of the day. A little small, but there are small ones, there are big ones. Let's go. All right, got another one here. A little too small though, 14.5 inches, so he's going back in. But on the back of the boat, keeper, Ted.
Keeper, David.
There we go.
All right, this is day 2 fishing out in the Gulf, and believe it or not, 2 red snapper on the same cast.
That's like your limit on one cast. What are you gonna do the rest of the day?
Relax. Right now we're kind of cruising the Gulf, and thinking about the water temperature out here, Brad. It's been one of the warmest Septembers on record for the Gulf, and you think about the amount of energy available for hurricanes. We have a fair amount of the hurricane season left. What do you think is going to happen here in the next, say, 3-4 weeks?
No, I think just looking long-range models, it's probably going to get pretty active. I think we'll probably have a real active end of the season.
I would be surprised if we made it through the entire hurricane season and didn't have something at some point in the Gulf. And so far, we've had Barry, which wasn't much of anything really in the season. So,
Yeah, we talked about it. A lot of times when you plan vacation, you think, oh, September taboo, because we thought of that too before we did this. But a lot of times I run into the most problems in June with the early season tropical storms.
those sloppy lows that just stir up the Gulf and create double red flags everywhere. All right, well, the Gulf is warm. So far, no hurricanes, knock on wood, but we're watching. And hey, we caught some fish today.
We did good.
Yeah.
The line broke 3 times, the braided line. We let in some monsters, but
You had some
we
big
didn't
ones.
get in the boat. Yeah,
Beautiful out here.
it really is.
All right, so that was a lot of fun down there. Again, that was Mexico Beach down in Florida. That was actually our catch there. So again, we grilled that up. Caught the second day. We caught some mahi-mahi, caught some cobia, some triggerfish. The triggerfish really good eating. But I'll tell you, Mexico Beach, after getting hit by that Category 5 hurricane, it just literally wiped the place out. Also the Air Force Base. We drove through there on the way down. That Air Force Base, they are just completely rebuilding everything. I think they lost 95% of their buildings down there. Mexico Beach, about a 6.5 hour drive down there. What was really cool about that, it's kind of a nice little secret down there because there's no big areas where you're looking at all these townhomes and skyscrapers. And that place we stayed was right across the road from the beach, had a nice little harbor behind it, get on the boat, go right out. We went about 20 miles out on the second day, and again, just had a great time out there. Gonna go ahead and run this commercial, and then I'll be back with your 10-day forecast. We'll talk about the weekend. All right, we're back. Again, going back to that fishing trip, a lot of you talk about deep sea fishing, yeah. I had probably an 80-pound grouper, 60, 80-pound grouper on my line a couple times. Could have been a shark, but it felt totally like a grouper. It wasn't real aggressive like a shark. Didn't take off running. Very slow. It was like pulling up a log. And then again, it just broke at the knot. So got to get better at tying knots. That's for sure. Again, I had somebody else tie the knot the second time, and it broke the line again. But it's tough getting those big fish in. That's why you see a lot of those setups where they got the auto reel back in. But man, that was a fight. But always looking forward to my next fishing trip. Usually this time of year, I'm headed out to Idaho to do some fly fishing, but that's not the case this year. Let's talk forecast here. I promised you that. Here's the 3-day forecast. We already saw that. Rain chances, you may not have though. You may have just started tuning in, but we'll get to the 10-day right after this. Tomorrow's 40% chance is going to be east of I-65 in the afternoon. After that, it dries out. But as we go down the road, we are going to watch the tropics. And, you know, David and I were talking about that out on the boat before any of this other stuff really blew up. And we're starting to see the Atlantic, the western Atlantic towards the Caribbean. If you head down to the Bahamas, this Sunday we could have a tropical storm or hurricane develop right over the Bahama Island chain, intensify and move north towards the Carolina coast. And that could back up and impact us by Thursday or Friday of next week. So we're going to kind of start slowly with a chance of rain, but something to watch. Even if we don't get rain and we just get clouds from that and a breeze, the temperatures will probably stay in the 70s as early as next Thursday. So again, we'll be watching that for you. Going to the tail of the dragon. The weather next Wednesday through Sunday. Well, again, as I was just mentioning, that new tropical system that's not a named storm yet. It's not a depression yet either, but it's going to move over the Bahamas. Latest indication may be a landfall somewhere in South Carolina, and that could back up into the Smoky Mountains. So it could bring quite a bit of rain there. So definitely, Dwayne, I would keep an eye on that forecast for the Smoky Mountains next week, because anything goes. When you get a lot of rain in the Smoky Mountains, you can get a lot of problems, as we saw from Hurricane Helene just last year. You guys take care. I got to go do some radio and get ready for that 10 o'clock news. Yeah, we did catch one shark, by the way. My son, it was about that big. Anyway, you guys take care.